Send the message to raise awareness. Some rulers always try to put their people to sleep and continue to loot their people for the benefit of the West. It has to stop. Who better than you to send this message to the different peoples? Africa must wake up. Young people must wake up and no longer allow the same policy to continue. It is not possible. Africa is still a virgin. Everything has to be done in Africa. Look at how our cities are. I am moved and very happy to see you here at Burkina Faso since the events of the SNC. It is more than a pleasure that you have chosen to come here to Burkina Faso. You have surely been told that this is an unfriendly country. You have been told that it is death here. It is war. There is only negative. We have painted Burkina in black. Here only blood flows, weapons. This is what is said elsewhere. Thank God you have come. You have been able to be at the bottom of the lake, to live with our culture. What binds us Africans? You have been able to communicate with many other nationalities who have come to celebrate with us. All went very well. You are in Ouagadougou. I hope that you are very well received, very well housed, and that you manage to communicate with your brothers here. This is an important message that I am sending to everyone. And now you will be the ambassadors of this message when you return home. Burkina is very popular. We live in Burkina Faso. What they want to make believe, that is not Burkina. It is what they draw to lead people to flee Burkina. And it is all Africa that they paint like that. For them, Africa is misery. Africa is war. Africa is famine. Africa is war. Who is responsible for this war? We need to unite, but they have always been there to divide us, to be able to reign better. Slavery, our ancestors lived it. To this day, we are fed up with it. But it continues. Our grandfathers were deported, tortured, and even when they had their wars, we were there to support them. They paid us in money. Others were killed when they tried to claim it. Several of them died in their villages with the consequences of the war. We have never recognized the work of Africans. Our mission is to awaken Africa. And who better than you from the diaspora to make people understand what Africa is? When I see you united in this association, I feel even more proud. Because that is all we ask for. Today our fight is to be able to unite. Because united we are strong. Divided we are weak. They have always worked to divide us. I urge you to pass on the message so that Africa can unite. We have the chance, or the bad chance, to live the war for a few years. And at some point we had to say, that's enough. We are fed up with it. We have taken our responsibilities. And we realize today, more than ever, that we have a reason to take our responsibilities. Because these armies were settled here. They have never been able, at any time, to watch our territory, to see the terrorists who came to kill us and leave, with all the means they had. And when we asked them to leave, today we have been able to acquire a good number of means that allow us to wage our war and to remove the threat, and to invade, I would say. We have been able to equip our forces and reestablish our armies. They don't like it. Of course, they will create other ways. But we are here, and we will hold on thanks to you, who are here to support us. We will always stand up, because Africans are resilient. We have suffered enough. The first thing you could do for Africa is to send a positive message. Enough looting, enough death. It is time that we unite and work. We only ask to live with dignity, to live free. Send the message to raise awareness. Some rulers always try to put their people to sleep and continue to loot their people for the benefit of the West. It has to stop. Who better than you to send this message to the different peoples? Africa must wake up. Young people must wake up and no longer allow the same policy to continue. It is not possible. Africa is still a virgin. Everything has to be done in Africa. Look at how our cities are. We can also develop our health and education systems. We can develop everything. In this rich diaspora, we have all the specialties. Today in Burkina Faso, we are thinking about setting up a polytechnic university just to train scientific engineers. I think you will be welcome to learn from your young brothers. Because as long as we do not train the youth to what we can produce and transform here, we will always remain slaves. Sovereignty is a whole. We are fighting for food self-sufficiency. Those who can invest in the agri-food industry to transform our products here, you are welcome. We produce everything here. Everything grows on our soil. We have experimented with everything for a year or so. Everything grows in Burkina Faso. Those who want to invest in agriculture are welcome. Those who want to invest in transformation are welcome. We want to transform education because the training we are currently experiencing is from the school. They have channeled us so that intellectuals, for the most part, cannot think outside the box they have drawn. Thank God their consciousness is awakening. We need more. We need to change the education system. You are welcome. There are many other paths. They were plundering our wealth. Today we are regaining control. We will never let our wealth be plundered because we want to live. We want to see our children being cared for, educated, growing up in peace and living in a healthy environment. We are open and you are welcome in Africa to develop your continent, to unite your continent and pass on the message of unity. This is very important. Continue to pass on the message so that young people wake up and don't let our leaders make slaves for others. This must not be allowed. There are some countries today where we want to pass on messages. But I think your voices carry even more. Because you are ambassadors wherever you are, in America, in Europe, in the Caribbean. You are ambassadors. When you speak, it can awaken. I urge you to speak. This is the mission I entrust to you to awaken the continent. Have a good stay.
Being here in the country of the upright man is a dream come true. To President Traoré,
Excellence, Monsieur.
To President Traoré, this is the land of Thomas Sankara, and we see in you the reincarnation of Captain Thomas Sankara. And we are convinced that you are here to complete the work that they have already started. The work that they started in the 1960s, when they formed the African Union to give a voice to Africa and to unite Africa. Excellency, Mr. President, we think that what is happening today in the Sahel, in Mali, in Niger, and in Burkina Faso is not a coup d'etat, but a revolution. A revolution to unite Africa, and Africa must unite. And we are convinced that this revolution will go beyond the borders of the Sahel. Mr. President, you have shown us that it is possible to chase the pursuit to save the land of our ancestors and our children. We are here today, Mr. President, for 3 missions. The first mission that brings us here today is that, Mr. President, I bring you with me a delegation of the descendants of the diaspora. Among them, there are the descendants of Africans who were abducted during slavery for nearly 400 years. Among them, there are also Africans who live abroad in the United States, in Australia, in Europe, in the Caribbean, in Latin America, and in many other African countries. Among those of the diaspora, there are some here this morning who are here for the first time to chase the African soil. They bring with them the spirit of their ancestors, who were abducted in Africa for nearly 400 years. They bring their spirit so that they can finally rest in peace in the land of Burkina Faso of Thomas Sankara. The second reason why we are here, Mr. President, is to bring you our support and to say that we are with you. You are all that we have hoped and wanted from a president. Mr. President, when we were about to come here, we were told that we should not come to Burkina Faso, that there is a red line, that Burkina Faso is at war, that it is not stable, that it is not secure. But I assure you, Mr. President, the more they told us that Burkina Faso is not stable and that it is dangerous, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. And we are proud to be here today to see the work that has already been done. You are the Burkina Faso population, so it is normal and it is our responsibility to be here this morning to tell you, Mr. President, that we are here, we support you, we are with you, and we are capable and we are competent and we want to help. And the third reason why we are here today, Mr. President, is to ask you how we can bring our support to your leadership and to this transition. Among us, there are experts like engineers, architects, doctors, businessmen, and many others. And all we want, Mr. President, is to bring our capacities and our expertise to help build Burkina Faso, our Burkina Faso, and to help build the united Africa that we dream of. Thank you.